Good evening and welcome to Ville News. I'm your host, Georgia Hall, along with Nikki Dalton, here to give you the latest campus, local, and national headlines. Stay tuned because Ville News starts now.
Millersville University is suffering a sad loss following the passing of Interim Chief Diversity Officer Mr. Renardo Hall. Mr. Hall joined the Millersville community back in 2018 as the Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. That role allowed members of the Center for Health Education and Promotion, University Health Services, Counseling and Human Development, Judicial Affairs, and University Police to work with and get to know Dr. Hall. He also assisted in creating the Divine Nine and Cultural Greek Council Unity Plots, a walkway that represents the 12 traditional Black and Latin sororities and fraternities. Earlier this year, Mr. Hall was given the title of Chief Diversity Officer, where he served as a part of the President's Cabinet and helped spread awareness on campus. In response to this tragic loss, Millersville University set up a station to share your condolences and memories with Mr. Hall. Students were allowed to write cards for his family, share their memories, and give carnations to those they know who may be hurting from this loss. Our Millersville community will not be the same without Mr. Hall here with us.
A Lancaster County postal worker has been accused of stealing close to $700,000 by stealing and altering checks. Genesee Rodriguez, a 26-year-old mail carrier at Leola Post Office, is facing charges including forgery, identity theft, and receiving stolen property. Some of the 111 stolen checks were being mailed out by residents, where police claim Rodriguez would change the payee name and deposit it to her own accounts. She has also been accused of intercepting checks sent to local businesses and changing names and amounts to deposits. Investigators placed a camera inside her mail truck and discovered Rodriguez stealing certain envelopes to her personal backpack, as well as using a phone flashlight to see the contents. Leola resident Christine Hoover said she was a victim of Rodriguez's actions, stating, quote, "I went on my online banking and seen that the check didn't make it to Busy Beaver. Somebody wrote it out for $6,500. My heart stopped and I was like, what's going on?" End quote. Rodriguez is set to face Judge Robert Herman on April 11th for a preliminary hearing after posting bail. When we get back, Ville News will be giving you the latest news and weather updates. Michael, what can we expect for the weather?
Well, if we're looking outside right now over Lancaster City, pretty clear blue sky since that storm moved out from this morning. But when I come back, I'll have the full 7-day forecast after the break.
Welcome back to Ville News.
Nikki, I don't know about you, but I have not been enjoying this rainy, cold weather lately.
I mean, I'm used to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I mean, I'll take it. As long as it's not 90s in the summer, I'm okay with it.
Fair enough. We're now going to go to Michael for the latest local weather.
Well, guys, as you know, the old saying goes, April showers bring May flowers, and we're going to be having a lot of rain this weekend. If we're looking at the 3-day right now, tonight we're going to have a low of 42, which is pretty cold for this time of year. But tomorrow we're going to be hopping back up to that 70 with those thunderstorms, which is not going to be the best if you're trying to go out tomorrow night. But going into Friday will be a high of 54 and a low of 36. But looking at the rest of the 7-day here, again, the weekend, it's going to be nice and sunny, but it is only going to be in the mid-50s. But starting our week off next Monday, going to be closer to those 60s again, and same with Tuesday with a little bit of sun coming through those clouds. But when I come back, I'll have the full forecast. Back to you at the desk.
A shooting at Erie High School in Erie, Pennsylvania has left 1 injured, authorities reported. On Tuesday, April 5th, local authorities were notified of several shots fired just after 9 a.m. 1 student was hit but is reported to be in good conditions. Erie Police Department Deputy Chief Mike Nolan shared that a student had been identified as a suspect, stating, quote, "Suspect is not currently in custody and multiple agencies are actively involved in the search for the suspect," end quote. He added that the shooting was a, quote, "isolated and target incident." Following the shooting, Erie High School cleared students out safely and sent them home, canceling classes for the rest of the week. Local officials and the school board plan to use this time to create a comprehensive plan to allow students to return safely following investigations. Superintendent Brian Polito stated, quote, "The well-being of our students and staff will and always be our priority, and we will take every measure possible to ensure their safety and security," end quote. Investigations will continue to confirm the suspects in the charges.
Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf has been fighting to make PA the first major fossil fuel state to implement a carbon pricing policy. This goal is taking longer than expected, as a Pennsylvania court has blocked the plan once again. The Commonwealth Court released an unsigned order stating that it won't allow the regulation to be published and that it is, quote, "pending further order of the court," end quote. Wolf's plan will require fossil fuel plants in the state to pay a price for every ton of carbon dioxide emitting beginning July 1st. Pennsylvania is known for being a significant polluter as well as one of the nation's biggest power producer states. This order follows a state Senate vote on Monday, April 4th, which was just shy of the threshold to fully block Wolf's regulation plan. Republican lawmakers in PA argue that the regulation is an illegal use of regulations and that they need legislative approval to pass this plan. They add that adding these costs would close down power plants and hurt the state's gas-based economy. Governor Wolf plans to keep fighting to pass these regulations in the state courts.
The Biden administration is set to announce that it will once again extend its pause on federal student loan repayments. According to an administration official, the repayments will be frozen until August 31st, after it was meant to expire on May 31st. The repayment freeze has been in place since the beginning of the pandemic, with no payments required on most federal student loans and zero interest. This decision will mark the fifth extension since it took effect in March of 2020, and the fourth since Joe Biden took office. While some appreciate the extensions, others grow frustrated with the lack of movement towards widespread forgiveness on all student loans. Democratic lawmakers such as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Elizabeth Warren have urged Biden to use his executive authority to cancel up to $50,000 in debt per borrower, a sum 5 times larger than Biden supported during his 2020 campaign. Other Democratic lawmakers sent letters to the president asking to extend the pause until the end of 2022. Biden has shot back, stating that he believed that the decision should be left to the Congress, which would become a battle due to the evenly split Senate and Republicans' opposition to debt forgiveness. If this proves to be the last extension on student debt repayment, that move would come only months before the midterm elections are set to begin.
Southeastern states in the U.S. are expected to get hit with severe storms, including heavy rain and tornadoes, while still recovering from storms earlier this week that left 2 dead and many buildings destroyed. Residents in Alabama, Tennessee, Western North Carolina, and Georgia are prepping for the worst of storms, estimated to be a level 3 out of 5. Southern Georgia is facing the threat of tornadoes, while Alabama and Tennessee are expected to experience damaging wind gusts. A resident of eastern Texas was killed earlier this week when a tornado caused a tree to fall on his RV, and another passed away in Georgia following the county being placed into a state of emergency. Georgia citizen Mary Edwards was driving on Tuesday, April 5th, when she spotted a tornado ahead on the road. She recounted the experience, stating, quote, "To see it right before you, it's humbling, it's exciting, it's majestic, and you really get that sense of mortality. You surrender," end quote. While parts of the South still recovers from earlier this week, the rest are preparing for a new wave of dangerous severe storm threats. When we come back, we'll return to MacDonald with more updates on local weather and Ruby Mundok with the latest on campus sports.
Welcome back to Ville News. I'm MacDonald giving you the full weather forecast. If we're looking outside right now over Lancaster City, pretty clear skies after that storm this morning rolled through. But if we're looking at temperatures right now in the area, 48 to 52 degrees with those clouds still lingering from this morning's storm, but not too bad. Very unseasonably cold for this time of year, if I say so. But if we're going to be looking into the next couple days here, looking at tonight for starters, 40 to 44 degrees. Oh, sorry, 40 to 44 degrees, and mostly going to be cloudy with those mild temperatures coming through. But looking to Thursday, as we can see, it's going to be warm again with 68 to 72 degrees. And of course, we're going to have those scattered thunderstorms in the area with that. And with those thunderstorms into Thursday night, it's still going to be pretty cold with 46 to 50 degree temperatures with mostly cloudy skies and those thunderstorms still wrapping up. But if we're going to be looking for Friday, it's going to clear up again with 52 to 56 being the high. And of course, that clouds will kind of still be in there while that wind moving out all this low pressure system in the area. And again, we're moving into the radar here. As you can see right now, clear blue skies. That storm blew out from this morning, which we're in this high pressure system until tomorrow. And pretty nice weather outside. It was a little bit warmer today, so you get away with probably wearing a little jacket, light jacket at least. And looking at our 3-day forecast here, as I said a few minutes ago, 50 degrees is going to be the high today with 42 being the low. 70 tomorrow with those thunderstorms as the high with 48 being the low. And Friday we're looking at that 54 degrees as the high with 36. But then we're looking into the 7-day forecast here with Saturday and Sunday going to be pretty sunny with 56 degrees as the high for both of those days, with it being the low, the mid-30s for the low. And then going into the start of our weekend here, it's going to be nice and warm up there, almost at 60, but 58 degrees with those partly sunny skies. And this weather forecast is brought to you by the Millersville Campus Weather Service. Visit us at millersville.edu/weatherforecast. Back to you at the desk.
Now to Ruby Mundok with the latest on campus sports.
We are officially in the midst of the spring season here at Millersville, and the Marauders are not slowing down. Women's lacrosse extended their record to 8-3 following an exciting 12-11 win over Shippensburg University. Goalie Morgan Scott saved the game, blocking a shot with 26 seconds left on the clock that would have sent the game into overtime. With this win, the Marauders are ranked number 3 in the PSAC East as they head into a matchup against conference rival East Stroudsburg. The number 16 ranked Millersville baseball team took a break in their PSAC East schedule to battle against number 22 ranked Seton Hill, losing 2-1 after a hard-fought game. The game was tied 1-1 heading into the 9th inning when Seton Hill's Tanner Forlick scored the game-winning run to secure them the win. The Marauders head to Shippensburg next to start a 3-game series against the Raiders. Softball took on Westchester University over the weekend, sweeping them in a doubleheader with scores of 7-6 and 5-4. Sophomore Gabby Diatavio led the offense, scoring a home run in both games as well as 6 RBIs total. This impressive performance earned her the title of PSAC East Softball Athlete of the Week. In golf news, the men's and women's teams both competed in the Dr. Edwin B. Cottrell tournament, with the men's team placing 4th and the women earning a 2nd-place spot. Charlie Kirby led the women's team, placing 3rd individually with a 167, and Bobby Lugiano had a strong game as well, placing 2nd after scoring a 145. Great work to all of our Marauder teams, and good luck the rest of the season.
This past Monday was Millersville University's Disability Pride Day. We will now go to Michael MacDonald with the full story.
This past Monday, Millersville University hosted its 5th annual Disability Pride Day. I talked with the MU ADAPT president Hannah Schillings to discuss the importance of diversity and the impact of events such as these.
We go around campus and say education is the power, access is the civil right, and so many more.
The celebration is a way for the university to advocate for disability justice, with the day's events including panels hosted by activists and disability studies scholars, a disability film screening, and a campus-wide parade. With all the dedication put into the day, Hannah told us who is MU ADAPT's biggest supporters.
So my favorite supporters around campus is definitely the professors here. They are accommodating us and have equal rights in our classroom. Our students here at Millersville University are amazing supporters.
However, the highlight of the event came with a speech from Dr. Wuba, who is passionate in the support of the university and sees the event growing stronger each year. Reporting for Millersville University, Michael MacDonald, Channel 99, Ville News.
That's all we have this week for Ville News. Thank you for watching and tune in next week for the newest local, state, and national headlines.